Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this week's Alpha Leaks. My name's Declan. I'm the CEO of Aurora Labs, and we're going to get straight into it today. Got a little bit of a change up as well in terms of what we'll be doing, but more of that once I get through kind of the key updates for this week. So first up is Coca Wallet. So Coca Wallet and Aurora have actually been working with each other on some kind of new opportunities for some time. It's been a big year for Coca. They've evolved, from what was just a crypto wallet into a full-blown kind of stablecoin neobank. I actually use Coca myself, and Coca are also going to be one of our first partners for the upcoming swap widget. So definitely recommend you check out what they're doing. What the team are doing there is fantastic. They are bringing out new updates almost on a weekly basis, right? So physical cards was something that was coming for some time. That then went live. I actually received mine on Tuesday, I think it was, which is great. So now you've actually got a stablecoin card that you can use with Apple Pay and that you can use for regular shops as well. They allow you to onboard assets from multiple different chains. And of course, with the technology that Aurora is building, it'll make it even better moving forwards. Additionally, there's rewards available and there's different tiers and plans available. So I definitely recommend checking it out. You'll be hearing more about Coca in the coming weeks from me as well. Now, aside from that, we also have the new hard truth about privacy and control article that's been released. So this was the conversation I actually talked about briefly last week, but we've obviously now got the article fully live for those who missed it and wants to be able to kind of read it. And you'll see quite a few statements from there. You'll see my opinions on privacy and what it basically means. And I think, from Aurora's point of view, you're already kind of seeing that we don't treat privacy as a feature. We look at privacy as just something that's needed. And what does that actually mean? What that means is privacy should be built at the heart, of the projects that are coming forwards. But that also kind of sits alongside with removing a lot of the complexities that exists within the general user experience, right? And I think I touched upon this last week when I was saying that, for a long time, privacy was just seen as a way to avoid the tax man or, to get away with criminality. But now the industry and the wider industry has pretty rapidly caught up and realized that, no, it's not about, obfuscation. It's about transparency, but it's also about kind of keeping information that should be confidential. It's about ensuring that if we want our industry to expand, we have to make sure that companies, whether it's funds, whether it's stock exchanges, as we saw with the New York Stock Exchange recent announcement, that they're able to operate in a way that allows people to benefit without just extracting all of the value. So, for example, if I'm a fund, I don't want all of my strategies to be stolen in real time. So it's well worth a read. They had some great speakers from some big projects within the privacy space. So yeah. So they're kind of the key updates on my side. What I'm going to be doing though is going through the meme contest, and then I'm going to be inviting our head of product, Armand Didier. He's going to be talking more about the swap widget. So since last week, there's been some additional updates that have taken place. And we're actually pleased to announce that we're going to be releasing it to the public for everybody to use on Monday, I believe. So you'll be able to test it, use it, play with it, and there'll be more kind of announcements that are coming next week. So proper alpha. I haven't got a tweet about it. That's why I'm not sharing my screen yet. But there will be one on Monday when it comes out, and you'll be able to use it in real time as well. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We will bring, in fact, no, we'll bring Armand on now. Here he is. Yeah, hello, Armand. And then we'll do the meme contest after that. Over to you, buddy.
Cool. So I'm gonna share my screen. So obviously you already showed the studio a little bit last week. We have done some improvements since then, and as you mentioned, we're ready to release. So let me take you through it once again. So first, we improved how the design behave. So you will recognize the widget in the middle here. You can change the different colors, the accent color of your widget. Also going for a more bold design scheme if you prefer. And also we improve the way it looks in dark or light theme. Once you have done your design, you can configure the features. So we still have the different configuration for the DApp or the standalone authentication. So the DApp will use the authentication of your browser. The account abstraction, again, that exposes the intense balance or not, and the various different filters for the networks. But what we really improved and what makes it ready to go live on Monday is the whole fee configuration. So now you have access to a new panel, as you can see here, where you can create your API key. So each widget will require its own API key to work. And from there, you are able to set the fees as you wish. So if you want to put like 0.5% here, here you put your collection address, save, and then you're just able to export the code as it was possible to do before as well. So that's it. It's as simple as that. Just a few clicks, and then you're able to integrate it into your app. One thing I also wanted to come back on is the status of near intents, especially on its volume. So now we are consistently above 2 billion 30 days volume, right now at 2.5 billion. And one number that maybe we don't talk about enough is the generated fees by the different channels. By channels are all the different integrations that are leveraging near intents. With SwapKit at the top with $14 million in fees generated. So with the widget, that gives you a possibility to tap into that ever-growing network and to also generate fees for your app, while obviously providing the whole cross-chain capability to your users. So yeah, watch out for the announcement on Monday. Everyone should be able to use it then, and you'll be able to start implementing into your app.
Thank you, Armand. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to go through the meme contest now, and then we're going to go through the questions. Armand will stay with us because I can already see there's quite a few questions coming through in relation to the widget. Okay, so what do we have today? So Craig, you can always rely on a meme from Craig. My friends asked me what's in it for Calix. I'd say insane returns. Let's Calix with me in. Okay. Julian, Dungeon Master. I mean, being compared to Chris Pratt, don't pretend you're not jealous, Armand. I'll take that 100%. When me, other launchpad tokens. Okay, Minecraft. Okay, I haven't seen one of these in a while.
You're a Minecraft expert, Declan?
I am, yeah. Me and my son have definitely put in a lot more time than I would care to admit. I think we're about 100 days in overall. I mean, that is over a period of years, by the way. But yeah, we've built quite the base, quite the world as well. Okay, who do we have? BTC Venture. Okay, looks like you, Armand, manager meeting. A new project is around the corner. Okay, so we've actually got quite a few submissions this week. Biden, okay.
Good
Praise, thank you. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. I'm gonna give one to Praise. You get one there, buddy. I'll let Armand choose the next one. Okay. Reaching out investors. Okay. Nice, bit Fast and Furious. Rowan Atkinson. I have a cousin that I used to say looked just like Rowan Atkinson. Hopefully he doesn't watch these because he won't thank me for saying that. Okay, what do we have now? Okay. Okay, so Praises one. Armand, was there one there that you liked?
The one I mentioned, or was it the one you said?
No. Is the one here that you'd like to award a prize to?
Maybe this one, yeah. With
This one?
Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean. Okay.
Mm.
So Payne, you are our second winner, and then our final winner, I'm going to go with Minecraft, just as a little nod to Mojang there. Okay, so there are 3 winners. Congratulations. Look forward to seeing what you guys can produce for us next week. So let's now take a look at the questions that we have from people. Okay, quite a few people saying they use Coca Wallet as well. Yeah, I'm waiting for my physical card, Fox. Yeah, I mean, look, mine arrived in like 3 or 4 days, Fox. So if you've ordered it, just be patient and wait. I was suggesting for them to use near intents. They have listened to me. Yep, they have. And we'll be pleased to share more news on that soon enough. Okay, so 7 Alpha. What's the update on intents about the widget swap? I mean, essentially what we've just shared, unless there's anything else you'd like to add there, Armand. But yeah, I mean, it'll be going live on Monday for projects to be able to literally take and use. Okay, what do we have? Oh, that's what our own marketing team. Okay. Okay, Declan, could you share your personal take on the hard truth about privacy and control article from Aurora? Yeah, I mean, my quote's actually in there. But for me, you know, I think when you take a step back and you look at blockchain as a whole, and you look at our industry, you know, everybody's heard everybody talking about transparency. However, you know, whilst transparency is of course extremely important, you also have to ensure there's trust. If you want, you know, the big institutions and the bigger players to actively participate and help scale the industry as a whole. And I'll use the example I gave earlier on today's Alpha. You know, if you've got a fund that wants to have on-chain strategies, they don't want those strategies to be stolen in real time, right? So you have to have a system in place that isn't just about extracting value from those adding into it. It needs to be a system that allows people to keep, of course, their actions and their outcomes transparent, but at the same time ensure that the strategies and the planning they're doing ahead is kept private until such a time it needs to be public. But yeah, have a read of the article. You can also listen to the full piece. There's definitely people more experienced than I in this space that talk on there. But it is well worth a read and well worth a listen to.
And if I can add also, I think one thing that I noticed is that now we're talking about privacy, while maybe a few years back we were talking about anonymity. And that's a different approach, because now we do want privacy for those institutions to function. But that doesn't mean there's full anonymity in the background. So that's an interesting shift in discussion, which shows the maturity of the industry.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. You know, and I think it also applies to real world scenarios, right? So if any of you are in the process of going for a mortgage, at least if you're in the UK, and Aman, you'll know this, I've spoken to you about my own personal problems. Like all of the major banks, they won't touch you, right? You know, if you have any form of crypto, it doesn't matter how transparent and clean you are. And that's because banks in their very nature need to be able to operate trustlessly, but also be able to operate with other banks, right? And actually, that's one of the best use cases, you know, for blockchains, because you can create this environment where you don't have to trust the other banks involved, but you're able to share kind of the data that's regulatory required, right? User details, bank details, AML, all of these different components. So, you know, the fact that we have seen that shift now to privacy and that we're showing and seeing real use cases for it, I think what we're going to see as a knock-on effect is much wider adoption as crypto as a whole across the industry for things like mortgages. And I'm not saying you pay your mortgage with crypto, but I'm saying they'll count your crypto assets as funds, you know, that are sourced and can be used towards your suitability, right, for the product that you're looking for. Okay, do we have any other questions? Yeah, Immortal asked about privacy. Hopefully I've covered that there for you. Rudika asked, is Coca delivery of worldwide? Good question. I know it's available in the UK. You'd have to double check on their application. I'm pretty sure it covers most of Europe, but you'd have to double check there. Definitely check them out. It's well worth it. They've got a great product actually. Okay, what will the revenue model be for the Aurora widget? Great question. Armand, did you want to jump into that, or do you look like you're about to speak?
So just quickly, so there is a revenue share between what you collect on your widget and what we get from that. Extremely simple, straightforward. Everything is transparent. You can see it on the widget studio. Yeah, just a simple revenue share. 40/60. So you're actually getting most of the fees generated by the widget.
And just to be clear, that's actually higher than any of the other widgets currently available on the market as well. And there's no kind of protocol fee, that's payable either, which again positions us and Near Intents very, very strongly, compared to some of the bigger widget players out there. Okay, we have another product question here. Does the Near Intent swap widget include the history section to track transactions? Brilliant question.
Yes, not yet, but it's in the work. So we actually have. So we already started working on it. So any future updates that we add to the widget, obviously will be available to anyone who has integrated it. So yeah, that will come next.
Aman knows I smile because it's been one of my pet bugs with loads of other platforms. Like, someone will say they've sent some, they sent the crypto, and I'm like, where can I see my historical transactions? Where can I see this has been sent? It's just like nowhere, right? And unless you're willing to actually, go onto Block Explorer and try and find it. So yeah, great to know that's already in the pipeline. Another question from Fox. If I use the swap widget and select all networks, but we then add another one, will I have to update and reconfigure, or does selecting all just ensure that it's always showing?
Yes, so we will. So at the moment, because you don't have like 10 networks added every day, this is less of an issue. So you can do it manually. So to answer the question, you do have to manually add the new network. That said, we want to expose the option within the studio. So leave an option for auto discovering all the new networks, but also the new tokens that are listed. So you will have the choice for your widget whether you just auto discover everything, or you just manually update it.
Okay. When Celo integration, I'm assuming this is more of a general Near Intents question, Fox, but please comment again if it's not. So I know that there's been kind of conversations that are happening there, but obviously it's not all on our end to just do, right? So, we need those networks to be actively involved. But that's actually handled kind of by another team rather than ours. We're not doing the direct network integrations for the Near Intents protocol. But I believe there's regular weekly updates now coming out from that side anyway from Near Intent. So I'd suggest checking out there. But I'll ask for you, folks, and I'll give an update on next week's call. Okay. Will any important announcements be made by the Aurora team at NearCon? You'll have to wait and see. I'm not giving anything away for NearCon, mostly because I have a tendency to say things I'm not meant to say. And I'll get told off by the Near team if I speak about anything that hasn't yet been released. But I will be attending there, and I hope to obviously see a lot of you guys if you're able to make it. And if not, I'll certainly be doing an Alpha League session and giving a recap of what we've been doing. Black Crocodile, how do you feel that most British kings were French?
Great question.
Black Crocodile, I think, needs to be banned from all future calls. I mean, look, you could argue. No, see, this is where I'm going to get myself in trouble. I'm on, isn't it? So I'm probably best to shut up. I think you'll find King Charles is a fantastic representation for our country, and Queen Elizabeth, or Lizzie, to those that know her well. I didn't, by the way, but I hear some people did. The best monarch we ever had, probably ever will, actually. Moving on. Okay. There are still a number of good chains yet to be integrated on Near Intents. Any additions expected soon? Yeah, so again, it's not really for me to kind of state which networks are going to be added and when by the Near Intents team. What I can say is there are a number of conversations that are happening, and that the team are moving at full speed, basically to ensure that it's got a wider reach as possible and can facilitate and support as many tokens as possible. Okay, we have another question from Fox. Declan, which bank are you talking about? I've never had issues with on-ramping and off-ramping with Lloyds and Nationwide. Yeah, so I'm not actually talking about being able to on-ramp and off-ramp assets directly into your account. What I'm talking about, what I was talking about was actually quite specific to a mortgage. And the only reason I know this is I went through this process myself. But at least in the UK, you know, a lot of, if you're buying a house, a lot of law firms won't touch you. You know, if you've got crypto, and a lot of banks won't provide you the mortgage if any of your funds have been sourced from crypto either. You know, so it's improving. But I think, again, what we're seeing in the wider space around privacy, around being able to create these secure environments that can contain confidential information, but also prevent kind of that criminality aspect is going to be really, really important. Okay, let's have a look. Is there anything else? Fleet source is knocking, be careful. Oh no, it's okay. I can run really fast. Okay, I think that's everything, guys. So have a fantastic weekend. If you have any other questions or I didn't get to you today, I apologize. I will be happy to pick them up next week. And I look forward to speaking to you on next week's Alpha Leaks with more news about the public release, obviously, of the widget. In fact, we'll probably have Armand back to walk through, you know, some of the extra components, as well as everything else that's been going on in the ecosystem. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.